Episode 1. Hollow destruction is rising. According to Soul Society Research and Development, it raises the possibility that living and Soul Society could merge in days. Squad 13 officers Ryanosuke and Shino watch Karakura town unaware. Unlike the former, the latter is brave. Shino's easy knockout confirms his worst fears. Ichigo, Orihime, Sato, and Ishida defeat the Hollows and help Ryanosuke and the couple. Ryanosuke and Shino discuss their past when a man enters Ichigo's room. Ichigo expels him immediately. He discovers Asciaro Ibern is a Quincy, not an Arrancar. Squad 11 finds Rukon district people missing. In Karakura, Ibern taunts Ichigo to use his Bankai on him. Ichigo stuns the substitute Soul Reaper despite his confidence. Ibern flees before being questioned. 6 masked men kill a man while he thinks. They claim to be Wandenrake and threaten to destroy the Soul Society in days. Quincy Empire Wandenrake wants to destroy the spirit world. After losing the Shinigami battle 1,000 years ago, the Quincy left humanity. Safer in the Siriidii, they regrouped. They formed Wandenrake, a secret kingdom, using the abundant Raishurn waited to gain enough power to conquer the world and destroy the Soul Society. After generations, the Quincy declare war. Episode 2. Ichigo is awaited. Team updates follow for Ryanosuke. They find Sasakaibe. Patrolling Nell and Pesh ask Ichigo for Hueco Mundo support. Yawatch kills Ibern and Lutters. Halibel and Hueco Mundo. Pesh reports Hueco Mundo's Ichigo house attack. Ichigo aids Quincy Yuryu. Uruhara takes them. As troops take Arrancars, the group arrives. Ichigo saves without Dondo Chaka. Arrancar soldiers. Stern Ritter names Hollows and Arrancars. 2 resist, but he stabs many. Trace Bestia kill many soldiers. Stern Ritter fails to negotiate capitulation. Ichigo finds Trace Bestia wounded. According to Squad 1, Wandenrake is Quincy's. Episode 3. An emergency meeting in the 1st Division dormitory is analyzing recent attacks and developing a strategy. The captains know the Quincy did it and are told to prepare for war. Ichigo fights Quilge, who appears to have defeated Trest Bestias in Hueco Mundo. Yawatch informed the Quincy captain of Ichigo's unique war potential. Remove him immediately. Quilge becomes Quincy, fighting him. Yawatch advises the Stern Ritter to prepare and meet at the Taiyu no Mon because Ichigo will be preoccupied with the Hueco Mundo battle. Quilge confidently attacks Ichigo. Quilge calls Quincy, "Let's still a relic." He says the attack ended 2 centuries ago. He says only non-revolutionaries like Ishida obsess over it. Getsuga Tenso doesn't hurt the Quincy captain. Ione interrupts Quilge's Bisquill-powered attack. Here Haribel Fraction fights. Quilge is buried by Ione. After the battle, Quilge aggressively gathers Raishur to transform. The Soul Society transfers deceased spirits to balance the worlds. Hollows cannot reincarnate. Soul Reapers transform Hollows into souls for the Soul Society. Spirits and humans balance. After Quincy's eliminated Hollow souls, fewer souls entered the spirit world. Soul Society and human world souls will imbalance. Recent attacks have tipped the balance, which could bring both worlds down. Episode 4. Sternritters announce Soul Society purge. Soon, 16 Siriidii locations detect enemy spiritual pressures. The invasion kills over 1,000 Soul Society members in minutes. Siriidii Sternritters are too powerful. Shinigami fight endlessly. Akon calls Ichigo. Captain Mayuri observes while the others fight. Captain Rojuro faces Nejicup. Sajin fights Bambietta. Renji and Byakuya fight Knot and Mask. Ursi and Hisagi, Robert vs Kairaku, Sway, and BC9, Hitsugaya and Tsang and others fight. Byakuya, Sajin, Fong, and Toshiro release their Bankai, which is stolen. Captains find Quincy stealing Bankai. Ichigo and Urahara weaken Quilge. Ichigo enters Soul Society through this window. Quilge imprisons Ichigo. He conquers Sato, Orihime, and Urahara. Episode 5. Episode 5 shows Byakuya Kuchiki using Bankai against Knot. Because Sternritters destroyed Renji and Rukia's attempts to help Byakuya, Sternritter F beat him. Captain Commander Yamamoto Genryusai quickly destroyed Sternritter O'Driscoll Bursey. He then saved Zaraki Kenpachi and challenged the Wandenrake King at Yawatch. In this episode, Yamamoto Genryusai and Sasakaibe flashback to how Sasakaibe became Yamamoto's right-hand man. Episode 6. Captain Yamamoto swears to kill Yawatch. Quincy's want Soul Reapers-style wars. Yamamoto's Zenka no Tachi Bankai evaporates all Soul Society water during fighting. Yamamoto's sword flames show Yawatch his opponent. Yamamoto promises to influence again after seeing this Bankai 1,000 years ago. Yawatch likes Yamamoto's sword. Remotely attack Yamamoto. Yamamoto Bankai. Like Zanjitsu Goki Zenka no Tachi, West lets Yamamoto surround himself with 15 million degrees Celsius of heat, preventing Yhwach from approaching him. Yamamoto's Bankai could destroy the Soul Society and Yhwach if he continues. Yhwach summons Quincy's ultimate defense as Yamamoto approaches. Yamamoto rises. Yhwach supervises many. Yamamoto wins in one blow, only to discover he was fighting someone else. Stern Ritter Y. Royd Lloyd fought Quincy King. Yamamoto sees Yhwach. Yhwach kills Royd. He tells Yamamoto Aizen declined his offer. Yamamoto's Bankai drained him. He rashly attacked Yhwach. Yamamoto accidentally grabbed Bankai. Ishida learned that 1,000 years ago, the Quincy monarchy Licht Reich tried to exterminate all Hollows opposed Soul Society invaded. 13 Court Guard squads destroyed Quincy. The Soul Reapers killed Quincy's 200 years ago to stop soul circulation. Ishida believed Quincy's and Soul Society would clash. Episode 7. Yhwach cuts Yamamoto. He dies with his top half falling. Yhwach describes Yamamoto's weakness and shift after exterminating the Quincy's. He claims the Soul Society is dying. After that, other soldiers kill Soul Society members. Ichigo escapes Quilge's captivity as the others vanish. Ichigo visits dying Byakuya. Before fainting, Byakuya asks Ichigo to safeguard the Soul Society. Ichigo visits Yhwach, who is impressed that he escaped Quilge. They clash. Yhwach stabs Ichigo's neck. Yhwach is astonished to discover blood vené on Ichigo, who is alive. Yhwach believes Ichigo's spiritual pressure memories awakened too early. Ichigo's spiritual pressure mingled with Quilge's when escaping jail. Ichigo still resents the recent occurrences and doesn't understand Yhwach. The Wandenrake finally retreats. Yhwach promises to rescue Ichigo. Episode 8. Wandenrake's assault is healing everyone. Aizen asks Unohana if staying at Squad 4 was a good idea. Unohana consoles her, saying the head captain's ultimate order. Urahara tells Ichigo their gang is safe. Rukia thanks Ichigo for protecting the Soul Society after recovering. Ichigo expelled the opposing leader, Hirako says. Rukia realizes Ichigo must have more serious issues once he goes. The 13 Court Guard squad captains mourn Yamamoto elsewhere. Ichigo discovers his Zanpakuto is unfixable in Kuratsuchi. Kuratsuchi adds that Bankai cannot be repaired. They then visit Squad 0. Squad 0 takes Ichigo, Rukia, Byakuya, and Renji to the royal palace. They clarify Aizen's goal. Kirinji then heals Ichigo, Rukia, Byakuya, and Renji. Episode 9. At White Bone Hell, Kirinji, Kazuhiro, and Kazuo heal Ichigo underwater. Ichigo escapes saying he's fine. Kirinji punches Ichigo. Ichigo rises to move on. Renji awakens mid-conversation and wants to leave with Ichigo. Kirinji hits Renji. Renji rises. Kiryu describes Squad 0's Soul Society before leaving. She implanted a temporary soul. She prepares the next commander. A letter confirms Shunsui Kairaku's Squad 1 and head captainship. Okikiba and Nanao become his lieutenants. Zaraki loses sword. Unohana, Soul Society's worst criminal. Unohana stabs his neck, recalling their first fight. His blade wakes him. Unohana recalls Zaraki's death-induced strength. Episode 10. Unohana distracts Zaraki about what happened after each blackout. While searching for an opponent, Unohana sees a young Zaraki's corpses. Zaraki has self-restrained since hitting her. He faced Unohana. She meant losing the thrill of an even fight, stopping her. Talented, he weakened himself by lowering himself to her level. Ichigo and Renji visit Oetsu Nemea's Huden. Nemea radiates. Female utopia. Mera makes Nemea take them to Huden, a dark mountain lodge. Ichigo and Renji fall into the Asachi Zanpakuto-filled cabin. The academy gave over 6,013 court guard squad soldiers nameless Zanpakutos. Ichigo and Renji must sleep and eat Zanpakutos. Zanpakutos are personalized by imprinting their spirits on Asachi. 3 Huden. Renji finishes. Ichigo doesn't. Nemea carves Renji's Zanpakuto but not Ichigo's. Since Nemea hates losers, Ichigo goes back to Earth to learn. Episode 11. Nemea tells Renji where all his Zanpakutos are. Soul Reapers make Asachi Zanpakutos. Nemea thinks Renji knows Asachi's and Huden won't help Ichigo. Ichigo must find his soul first. Isshin Kurosaki arrives soon. He tells Ichigo about Soul Society. Ichigo sees Isshin. Squad 10 leader Isshin discovered Soul Reaper deaths in mid-sized Naruki. Isshin investigated alone after these deaths. Jin and Kaname hollow Sosuke Aizen. Isshin advises the Soul Reapers to flee if it rains. Storms are dangerous. Quincy Ishida's Masaki. Izumi chastises Masaki for adopting a Quincy. Ryu, Izumi's son, stops her Masaki bashing. Masaki's happiness worries him if they marry. Isshin faces Naruki's Soul Reaper. Hollows vs Masaki's spirituality. Soul Reapers die approaching the hollow. Masaki guards. Fights outside. Ryu explains. Guard Quincy blood. Masaki says she'll regret staying. She's life-saving. Isshin finds a hollow traitor. Masaki saved Isshin. After attacking, the hollow killed Masaki. She catches hollow. Isshin saves Masaki when the hollow self-destructs. Masaki heals Isshin. Who's she? Masaki hesitates before revealing she's a Quincy. Isshin greets her. His first Quincy thrills. Jin, Aizen, and Kaname watched. Ryu and Katajiri leave after checking Masaki. Episode 12. Isshin tells Yamamoto about Naruki Hollow. Yamamoto questions his coverage. Isshin reassures. He never mentioned meeting Quincy there. Isshin worries about Masaki. Isshin considers repaying her. Masaki feels something walking home from school. Urahara shares her feelings. Ryu realizes Katajiri told his mother about the hollow fight. He questions her. Katajiri says Masaki is injured and needs Quincy treatment to avoid polluting the Ishida bloodline. Ryu defends Masaki but collapses before she can speak. Her neck hollows. Ryu treats her immediately. Isshin kills a hollow trying to eat him. Ryu blames Isshin. Urahara invites. Urahara calls Masaki's experience hollowification, where a hollow's soul enters another. Monsters self-destruct hollowified souls. Anti-hollowification injections can only save Masaki. Only Isshin Shiba can help Masaki since Soul Reapers oppose Quincy's and humans oppose hollows. Hollow Quincy hybrid Masaki. This requires a Soul Reaper human hybrid. Urahara gives Isshin human soul Jigai. Isshin becomes a Soul Reaper human hybrid. Isshin saving her has drawbacks. Urahara will link Raisher, Isshin, Masaki, and Masaki's hollow soul. Masaki will always pass it on. In this Jigai, Isshin loses Soul Reaper and hollow sight. Isshin saves Masaki instantly. Masaki leaves Quincy's after high school. Isshin clinic. Masaki often visits Isshin, who exaggerates his powers. He alleges Soul Society exile. Isshin thought Masaki knew he lied to her. Grand Fisher confronted her after Masaki died. Yawatch took her Quincy powers and the struggle. Masaki and Yuryu's mother Kane Katajiri died. Isshin claims Yawatch fathered Quincy's, founded Quincy's.